Quick shout out to my Patreons who keep this channel going. You can join my Patreon down in the description below. What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to the 15th episode of Higurashi When They Cry GOU/GO. This is Cat Deceiving Chapter Part 2. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Things are heating up a lot now. Because, well, we kind of now fully understand what's actually... Well, we don't fully understand what's happening. I don't think that sentence should ever really apply to Higurashi, per se, but we now understand the perspective of what's going on and the previous arcs we've been going through. We now understand Rika's perspective on all of that and how she has been guiding people, notably Keiichi, through some of these arcs in order to attain the good end, but it seems as though even those efforts aren't really working, and even when it looked like they had solved it, Oishi goes nuts with a gun and a bat that apparently, like, according to you guys, was suspicious in the first place. Like, I'm lost on that, to be honest with you. So I don't know what the relevance there is, and I could look it up, but I'm going to save it for a bit, just in case it gets explained later. But I will note that the fact that he had that bat is meant to be a point of reference, like, apparently. But yeah. Yeah, he went nuts and ultimately ended that timeline. Quite visceral with the way they did it as well, which is kind of... I think that's probably the most visceral scene that we've seen in this show, I'd say. I mean, Rena being beaten to death was pretty visceral. Mion's wasn't at all, really. Satoko's arc was just off for me, personally. I didn't enjoy it anywhere near as much as the previous arcs, and it kind of slowed down, and it kind of just neutralized some of the pacing and like tempo that the show kind of had up until that point, and just dragging it out, and just kind of like you lost a lot of the momentum that it had, and then it all kicks off again now, relatively speaking, with Oishi scene, and now Rika getting the cracked, I don't even know what it is, like piece of porcelain or whatever from inside the Oyashiro's statue. That someone made a good point, like Takano and such went into this, and they went into this, so it's possible that they may have seen it. But another question I have is, just because she has it now, I'm assuming that when she's going to give it 5 more arcs, right? Or 5 more loops, I should say, to try and solve it. They're probably going to go through those loops fairly quickly, or she's going to... Because I'm expecting loop number 5, she'll finally get it. Like, that's what I'm expecting the story to go for. So she can get closer and closer and closer to ultimate despair, and then she can finally actually say she cleared it, and she could go on with her life. That's kind of where I'm expecting them to take it, which means that these arcs are either going to get increasingly shorter, or we're going to go into a second season before we get an actual definitive answer. I think we're just going to get shorter arcs, or shorter loops, I should say. I keep saying arcs, but maybe all these 5 loops are considered a singular arc. I don't know how they're going to structure it. But I'm assuming when she next dies, because there's no way she just completes it here on her first attempt. It's just not going to happen, let's be realistic here. I'm going to assume that she has to go and get that shard again from the statue, right? Like, I would assume that would be the case. Because if that persisted over loops, that would be something different, because I don't think anything's persisted over a loop like that. Unless it's... I don't know. I really don't know if that's going to be relevant or not, but I guess we'll see as we get into this arc. So yeah, I wonder what she's going to do this one. Like, what is she going to do this time to change events? What sort of events are going to happen this time? Again, the only thing that's really consistent is Takano and Jiro being absent from the festival, and assumably going into the storehouse. Maybe now that they've gone into the storehouse this time, and that shard is not going to be there, maybe that's going to change events with them? Possibly? Not quite sure. But there's a lot of details in this show that I'm probably missing. And it's really hard for me to read comments on this show. I try not to read them as much as possible because even though I know you guys are well intentioned, I'm sure there's so much information there that can only come from like extra knowledge that I'm very, very careful trying to take any notice of it. And it's kind of weird to do, so I'm trying not to really engage as much in the comments as I would normally with other shows. Just because there's so much to this one, and I don't want anything, like even absolutely minor stuff that might get mentioned, I don't really want to know in a weird way. Because I'm going to pick up on more of that stuff, hopefully, when I go to rewatch, well, not rewatch, but go back and watch the original series and go through it that way and see what other things I pick up and stuff that was like done in this one that was referencing from an original work or something like that. So, anyway, I'm going to shut up. I'm just going to watch the anime because that's what I'm here to do. As per usual, though, here on YouTube, we do tire-based form reactions. If you want to see full picture-in-picture, you can go to my Patreon down in the description. £4 a month gets you access to all the picture-in-picture reactions I do. And there's like almost 30 a week at this point. It's absolutely nuts. But yeah, here on YouTube, we have to do time-based format. So bottom left of the screen, you'll see the timer for the episode. I count down 3, 2, 1, play. And on play, you start the episode, I start the episode, and we'll be in sync. We are watching this one on Funimation since that's who's licensed it here in the UK. Has done since the start of it last season. We have Kadokawa logos and then the Funimation logos, about 12 seconds of logos, give or take. I'll call them out as they go past. You can also use screen flash on my face or the mic to tell when it's transitioning. So, with all that said, let's get into episode 15, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. Kadokawa, Funimation, cheers. Here we go. The Wide Show. Fair. So this is giving her the context clues of what loop she's essentially doing. But absent-minded, still. He's going onto the committee, okay. Okay. Obi time. Quite interesting that we didn't get a new OP even yet. And it's Hanyu, even though she's gone now. And there's a little shot that she picked up. They were foreshadowing that very early. Alright, here we go. There's that damn doll in the background. Wow. Hang back again. That's a lie. Please don't tell me they pick that doll. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try and what any of the rules are. That means nothing to me. Means nothing. Huh? Hmm. Yes. I recognize all the piece. I recognize them, but I don't. Yep. I went about as expected. Hmm. Oh, hello. That laugh every time. Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh. Oh boy, here we go. See, this is a nice introduction to his character. You would never suspect anything was really off with him just on this. If this was your first interaction with his character, you think him as a cool old dude who likes mahjong. What? I still don't understand exactly what's happening, but sure. Especially after last arc. Akasaka? Who's this? Do I need to know who this is? Should I know this person? Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Uh-huh. Which is around about the same time as the curse die happening. Right. Oh, wow. Yes. Well, that's probably not a title she wants. Hmm. June 19th, okay. Huh. 5. Her character doesn't seem to have changed much in 5 years, I'm just saying. But, right. So this is gonna be. It's gonna be here through the festival, okay. Hmm. Ah, okay. Hmm. Hmm. It's her trying to change the arc. Well, I have the feeling this is not going to end well, but are you? Yes, obviously. Holy shit! And it was, you know, I was gonna say because they introduced a new character, it seems likely that maybe. Christ. Well, it's a bit too late for that. Hmm. Well, that's a quick end to that loop. That's one down already. Jesus. It's a very sudden. Oh. Uh, I don't know about that, but. Oh, is he gonna set the. He's gonna burn the whole place down. This is pretty messed up. The fact that she's still alive through all this as well is even worse. Whole place about to go in flames. No, you don't. Yes, leave this to the professionals. This is technically still a hostage situation as far as they're aware. There it goes. This escalated very quickly. That's quite the shot. Yep, down to 4. Holy shit, back to 15th. I assume she's going back to get the thing again? Oh. 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 So that's another loop down then. They're really going through these loops, aren't they? Jesus, I didn't think they'd be going this fast. Oh. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think many people would have wanted to be born in this village if they knew. Down to 3. Yep. Okay. They're really showing that, like... Oh boy. They're showing that literally anyone... It could be literally anyone in this village could be afflicted by this. And they're going through these so quickly, it's not like we're learning much either each time. Huh? Hmm. Right, yeah. That's part of the how it works. Hmm. He's the craziest so far, I think. Again, there's this weird filter over all of it. Uh-huh. Sure. That's 3 loops down so quickly. Hmm. Sure, she just wants to be on to the next one at this point. Okay. There we go. Down the two. Back to June 13th. What the hell is going on here? Whoa, on the 13th? This is so early. Who is it this time? But this is so early on the 13th. Oh, it's him this time. That's the bat again. It doesn't. Well, I don't know about that. Oh. No. Especially on the 13th, it's like right near the beginning of the loop. It's a very good question. By your own rule, you're on to your last one now. You were born here in this family. That seems to be the point. Jesus. Yeah. Do we need to have a typical anime 3-piece there? I think if you woke up there now, I would be more concerned. Honestly. Oh. Oh. So we just went through 4 of the loops. So yeah, I was right that we were going to save it for the last one. Didn't expect they were going to go through all 4 in this one episode. Jesus. They also turned up the gore a lot, didn't they? And the gruesomeness of it. They really ramped it up this time. What did we really learn out of those loops, though? Well, we learned that no one's really safe. Like, it could be anyone. I think that's kind of the point, is that literally anyone in this village can be afflicted by it. Whatever this curse ends up being. Also, I know, like, they show her, like, obviously counting down every time, and now she's on to her final loop. But is she really the one clicking every single time? Like, most of the time when she's clicked, the click happens after she's dead. So is it really her clicking? I don't know. I just find that a bit odd. But we had no mention of Jiro or Takano throughout the entirety of this. those 4 loops. They all mention parasites in their heads and looking for a cure. I don't know what more you can get out of that. Cat deceiving part 3. Alright, on to part 3. But that's it. We are now on to, at least by her rules, then she said, I'll give it 5 more loops. This is now her onto the final loop. I'm trying to think what from this episode realistically gives me some extra context clues, other than the fact it can be literally anyone. The parasite seems to be consistent in thinking it's in their heads. And they all have some connection to Rika, obviously. But then again, basically everyone in the village has a connection to everyone, so I don't know if that's necessarily relevant in of itself. But yeah, that very sudden cut from, yeah, I'll stay with you to make sure you're okay, and then sudden cut to, yeah, that was quite the cut in the halfway point of the episode. Literally everyone. Oh, there's got to be some context. Like, here's the thing. This is more in me having faith with the writer, creator. What's his name? Where is it? Ryukishi's 07. Like, this is more just me having faith in him. But I assume that even in an episode like that, there was something important to have learned out of that. I don't know if it is just as simple as, yeah, anyone could be cursed, as it were. And they're all doing it... Well, I guess one of the consistent things with those ones was they were all doing it to essentially save the village, to an extent. Like, apparently it's a tradition for her family to be sacrificed like this. According to, what's his name? Koyashi? What's that surname? It's not Koyashi, it's something else. Kibiyoshi, there we go. That seemed to be consistent, especially with the mother as well, Sonozaki, doing it. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what we're meant to take out of this, but we are down to 1 loop. I mean, we're down to 1 loop, and we've got, what was this, a 24 episode, right? Yeah, 24, so 9 more episodes? Yeah, 9 more episodes on 1 loop? She's either going to break her promise, or something significant is going to happen on this loop. That's what I've learned now. But what could possibly happen? I mean, it would be kind of interesting if she is the root cause of all of this, but why would she be? I don't know if any previous context would even offer anything to that, but... Again, the idea of, like, the shard being able to kill a looper, just the way that was all phrased implies that there's another looper. And if she has come back from the previous ones after escaping, something had to, or someone, had to pull her back in. What purpose would pulling her back in do? Because there must be a reason for that to happen. It's like, it's specifically targeted around her, and she's the only one seemingly conscious of it. Now, what would be really crazy, I don't think they're going to go this direction. What would be really crazy is if everyone else was also kind of feeling that. Because Keiichi had a dream about him bashing heads in, right? He had a dream of that, right? What if everyone else also has those dreams and visions of previous loops, but Rika is the only one who can truly remember every single one? That would be kind of interesting. But someone has to have pulled her back in here. But why would you pull her back in? My only theory there is that you pull her back in to redo the events and guide her or force her to be into a different route with a different conclusion than what got her where she is now. So it's possible that whatever she did worked and got her out of the loops, but where she ended up, was it how many years later was it from the end of this to where she was in the school? Was it like 5 years or something? No, it's 5 years back when it all started. There was a period of time afterwards where she went back and she was in her school. And then she got brought back into this. Whatever that time period was, something must have happened in that time period that was unfavorable to someone else. Or to her, maybe. Maybe something happened when she was back there and she decided... What would be worse is if she condemned herself to this fate. Like, she forgot why she got brought back in, but she brought her back herself because she knew that what she'd done and the way she solved it last time wasn't acceptable, and then she intentionally brought herself back to this. That'd be kind of messed up if she didn't even realize she brought herself back, but I don't think they're going that route either. My mind is so abuzz with just everything, and it's just like there's so much little bits of information jumbled up together. I can't even find half the information from this, and yeah, I'm not going to read comments of this season. I'm just going to stop reading comments, I think, because I don't think... Just because I don't want to muddle any information that I shouldn't already know. Basically. Even if it's well-intentioned, even if I should reasonably understand it, I don't want to necessarily do that. Like, it would be different if... It would be different if this was like a completely original work and had no source material behind it at all. But it's not. Like, It Invaded and working through the theory crafting of It Invaded, because that's my go-to when it comes to theory crafting shows. That was the one that really got me into it and highlighted how much I enjoy it. That was completely original work. So there was no way I could ever be spoiled on it. But this one, I feel like, even if all you people who have read the original BN and stuff, like, I'm sure you are all kind of lost to an extent as well, because they're kind of doing something new in of itself here. You still have more information that could be relevant. So I'm just trying to avoid getting any of that information at this point. But we'll see how that works out. I hope you understand my decision for it. But I still appreciate all your comments as such, and I would not discourage you from writing comments, but just know that I'm probably not going to be reading any of them from this moment forward, just in case, because I want to have this experience myself throughout all of it, and then if by the end I'm still lost, even if they've given a conclusion, then I'll go to you guys and be like, okay, why this meant this, etc. So that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one as per usual. Way more gory and visceral than previous episodes, but I don't know if there was really a lot of important information in there. I guess we'll see if they reference that back in the next final. It should be the final loop, according to Rika's own rules, but I guess we'll see. Leave a like if you enjoyed the episode, as well as your comments, what you thought. Don't forget to subscribe as well to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the Winter 2021 lineup you can find on the channel. Thank you for watching. Till next time. See you guys later.